The Glass Castle is directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. Fucking nailed it. It stars Brie Larson, Woody Harrelson, and Naomi Watts, and is the adaptation of the novel with the same title. Here's the thing, guys. This story, I'm not going to shit on, because it's an important story. It's a story that is, it's just important. It shows a lot about society, a lot about development, a lot about... God, I'm really grasping. I'm really looking at the bottom of the barrel here. Here's the thing. This movie does not work because it is so fucking boring. It's about as interesting as this. So when you have something like that, it looks nice. There's intrigue with it. There's something you could do something with. But at a point, it's just bland. And you're no longer looking at anything. And you're finding yourself daydreaming because suddenly there's nothing that interesting about it. I'm not giving anything shit-wise to the story of this. I'm sure the book is great. I am. I'm sure it is. I was talking to a friend of mine about this movie who saw it, and he said he'd read the book, he thought the book was great, and the movie sucks. It's almost impossible to describe why this movie doesn't work. But the movie doesn't work, and I think the simple fact is that this book that this film is based on should not have been adapted. There is certain material that does not work to be adapted. Take, for instance, Les Mis, the 2012 movie. I'm sure that musical is excellent. I've seen my high school did a musical for Les Mis, and I've seen one other production of Les Mis. Both of those I thought were pretty good. I think Les Mis is a very interesting story with interesting characters that can be done well. But the movie is not good because that adaptation just doesn't work. The musical to film adaptation simply does not work. The two of them don't meld well. That musical with the visual art form of film, they don't mix. And they have to mix. And it just seems like, with the way this book is laid out, or at least that's how I would guess because it's how the movie is structured and how the movie is paced, it doesn't work. It works better. I can just tell. It works better as a work of literature and a work of and a novel. And it's when you transfer it over to screen, I'm sorry, but it's painfully boring. It's painfully boring. And I know people are going to go, you just don't like this kind of movie. Bullshit, okay? That's not the case at all. That's just not true. And it's almost impossible to point fingers at what really makes this movie not good. Because it's not a good movie. Are there good things about it? Sure. There's plenty to like in this movie. There are a couple of really good scenes, and really intense scenes, and gripping scenes, and scenes where you actually care about what's going on and the characters within it. There are really great performances out of this movie, especially from Woody Harrelson and Brie Larson. Both of them really kind of pack a punch with their acting. We've known both of them are great actors for a very long time. Well, not very long time. Brie Larson more so recently. So we could expect great performances out of them. Brie Larson does a very good job despite not having that much screen time. I kind of found it to be like Lion, where Dev Patel was actually a supporting actor because he's not in as much as his kid predecessor is. It's sort of like that. The kid version of Brie Larson is in a lot more of this movie than Brie Larson herself. And you get Woody Harrelson, who's in the entirety of the movie, and he's fantastic. He's really showing that this guy can act. A lot of people, just mainstream moviegoers, don't really know that Woody Harrelson can act, because the movies they see are the ones where he's just the quirky, funny drunk guy. That's Woody Harrelson for you. He is drunk in this movie, but he's very serious as a character, and he's very impactful as a character, and his performance really adds to that. Yes, those are the good things about this movie, but the issue is every single scene feels too long. It all feels too long. But it's also impossible to find a place where you can cut it because it's all very important to the story. And that all ties back to why this story works as a book and not as a movie. It just doesn't transfer correctly. I don't think the writer of this book or the people that actually went through this event ever intended that this would become a movie, because the structure of it and the pacing of it and everything about it, technically speaking, really doesn't add up to filmmaking. It adds up to a book. And that's just kind of unfortunate. And that does happen every now and then. It happened with Les Mis. And if they try and make another Les Mis movie, which they probably will at some point, it'll probably just be just as bad. I do hate that Les Mis movie. I think, similarly to this, it is boring as all hell. And it was miscasted the entire way through. It's over the top too much. This movie is similar in terms of its drama. It's far too melodramatic, and it's far too slowly paced, and not just visually appealing enough for it to be a good movie. It just isn't. And that's really unfortunate to say, but that's the thing. And this is an important story, and it's a good story to tell. It's a good story to know. Just not in movies. I think that this was more of a, we'll get some book readers in the theater, and I think they'll enjoy it. And I think they did. I think the people that read the book probably enjoyed this movie to its extent. I was not among that crowd. I think it should have been left to where it originally was, and I don't think it's worth seeing this movie. If anything, if you were interested in seeing it or just interested in the story, probably just get the book. Check out the book. I've heard nothing but good things about the book. I don't know. I hate doing these reviews and comparing the book to the movie, but when the main problem is the adaptation for the film, I have to talk a lot about the book because that's just the situation. So, what did you guys think? Have you seen The Glass Castle? Have you not seen The Glass Castle? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.